G'day everybody and welcome to Andrew's Art and Models. Today I have a 1/72 scale Tiger 1 late production vehicle by Trumpeter. So let's crack it open and have a look. Some reasonable box art there and a little bit of information on the vehicle, so fairly standard fare from them. Instructions are very similar to the Trumpeter Tiger. So you've got the lower hull is exactly the same. The road wheel suspension should be the same, and the rear of the vehicle should be the same. It's really just the top of the vehicle which is different. So the instructions are quite basic and simple. You put on the road wheels a few little pieces, and away you go. It's really not that hard at all. There's not a lot to it. This would be built in no time, and a very, very simple, quick, enjoyable build, the way I like them. On the back we have our colour guides. So we've got our colour guides and different paint schemes we can apply to the vehicle. So interestingly, it shows you 3 side profiles that are of different tanks, and then you have the whole profile up here of one tank. So I'm not quite sure why they've done that. Might have been better to see a second page with different more detail regarding the different paint schemes. But yeah, it is what it is. And let's face it, most of us probably aren't going to follow the painting instructions anyway. Decals. Very nice. They seem to be printed very well, and the carrier film is not thick. That's a nice plus to see those. And let's get on with the kit. So the parts come bagged, which is always good. And we see here the tracks are the same as we saw on the Trumpeter Tiger as well. They're reasonable. They're not 100% accurate, but they're reasonable depictions of a track for this vehicle. The tow cables are molded in the rubber as well. The vinyl rubber, whatever you want to call it. I really am not a fan of this. I'd rather they were molded. If you're going to go to the trouble of making them shaped correctly, I'd rather have them out of plastic, to be honest. I just think it'd be a bit easier to paint and a bit easier to position. Yeah, not a huge fan of that, but that's really personal taste. So there's neither here nor there. Moving on, we're going to start with the top of the vehicle, so the turret, and that is nicely molded. There's a tiny bit of flash on some of these parts, and you can see most of them aren't too bad, but there's the odd bit here or there, and so careful tidying up prior to would definitely play to your advantage. And if you have a look here, the exhaust system is the same as on the original Trumpeter Tiger kit as well. So they've molded in the covers in place, and I can understand why they've done that. It's such a small, fragile part. It's a lot easier to manufacture and probably a lot easier to put together doing that. And from doing the photo etch ones, I know that can be a chore, having the little bits and pieces everywhere. So not a huge complaint about that. Just makes it a bit easier for everyone involved. If you want to go to the extra level, you certainly can. Steel road wheels, so no rubber lips around the road wheels, as you should expect from a late war vehicle. And the dry sprockets and everything are all nicely molded. Once again, a little bit of flash on some of these parts, but we're going to be cleaning up most of the outsides of these anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Moving on to the top of the vehicle, and this part is really quite intriguing, to be honest. You can see, if I can just show you right here, you can see there are some indentations in the top of the vehicle on there and there. There's a few around the hull. Everything else is molded quite nicely and looks quite good, but that is a little strange to me. Whether that comes through when you paint, I don't know. It will remain to be seen. I'll probably give it a coat, then sand it beforehand, but it's a little strange, and it's simply because they have little locator marks on the back. Well, I'm assuming a locator mark. So those are injector pin marks. That's got to be a locator mark to me. And why you would need it, I have no idea. So it looks like it's a part to drill out and put a tool on or whatever, but it's definitely not the case, because it's going to be in the turret's way, firstly. if you do it. Secondly, they give you all the equipment for the vehicle anyway, so why you'd need these additional holes, I don't know. A little bit strange. Moving on, flash, tiny bit of flash on the parts, and that's to be expected, but generally molded quite nicely. And I do like this, I do like the side skirts on the side here, the guards on the side here. It is lovely. Bottom of the vehicle, so the hull itself molded quite well. I'm not a fan, and I didn't notice this on my other kit at all, to be honest, but I'm not a fan of those, see the ridges running up along the inside there? They're really bizarre. Once again, I don't know, is that going to come out prior to paint, or is it just an effect on the surface of the kit where it was molded? It honestly looks to me like there was a 3D printing part done in low detail and not cleaned up properly as part of I have no idea. That's what it looks like to me. But yeah, why that is, I don't know. Injector pin marks on the other side. Oh, sorry, not injector pin marks. The locator marks on the other side for the top of the vehicle have left some depressions on the underside that will need to be addressed if you're going to put it into a competition or something like that. But otherwise, just cover it up with a bit of mud. No one's going to see it. Not too bad. Could be worse. Certainly seen better, but I've certainly seen worse. Once again, I don't recall seeing that effect on the other chassis for the Storm Tiger, so a bit weird, little strange. And very, very last, we have a cover for the engine deck, and it is a little inaccurate, but still it's reasonable considering the scale. And the turret with the turret ring. Now, that I really don't like, and I wish that had been molded as a separate piece, because that is going to drive me bonkers. You can see there should be a gap between the turret ring and, or in between the periscope ports, which are those little blocks. So the periscope ports should have a gap between them, and that ring should run around the top of those. Yeah, that's kind of frustrating. And for the sake of really just one more part on a sprue, that could have been easily avoided, quite bluntly. A little bit of flash on some of the other parts, a little bit tidying up, especially around the end of the gun barrel, and that's obviously a more complex part to produce, but a little bit of tidying up required there. Overall, I like it. I can't say it's perfect, but it's also what I would consider entry-level price range. It's not a huge price range, especially for this scale. It is cheaper than some of the other ones out there. Overall detail is quite nice, and it will build up to be a lovely kit with a little bit of care. I'm just interested to see what happens to those marks on the top, fixing those little depressions on the bottom, and I'm going to have to do something about that turret ring if I build it, because that is just going to drive me crazy. But very, very good otherwise, and I honestly think it's a good starting kit. It's not a horrible kit, and putting it together should be relatively simple. So if you're looking to start in 1/72, that's not a bad kit. If you're looking to test your skills and possibly detail up a kit, ET Models does have a aftermarket set for this. Which I used in the video for the Storm Tiger. So I used some of the parts for that in that video, and they work quite well. So there's definitely an option out there to upgrade this kit, and it's not a hugely expensive option either. So definitely worth having a look at. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And to all my regular viewers, hello and thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate all the support that I get from my regulars. And don't forget, we do a model giveaway once a month. So we issue a free kit to a subscriber once a month, and we announce what that kit's going to be at the beginning of the month, and the competition is drawn at the end of the month. So keep an eye out for those. If you're subscribing to the channel for that, hit the bell notification or you will miss the updates. And if you do miss an update and you've won, I'm sorry, it gets redrawn at the end of the month. So you had a month to contact me, otherwise it gets redrawn. So that's plenty of time. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. If you're looking for 1/72, give that one a try. It should be a bit of fun. And we'll see you soon.